Today we're going to be tying the Micro Minnow, killer saltwater pattern for everything from stripers, tarpon, redfish, anything that eats little bait fish. So we're going to take a handful of strands of crystal flash and center tie it in on the top of the shank. Take a clump of angel hair and make one wrap to hold it in place while we get ready to tie in the next piece on the bottom. Now we can tie in some white angel hair on the bottom of the shank. After both clumps are tied in the center and orientated correctly, we can pull both the top and bottom back at the same time. Then make a couple wraps to hold it in place. Now we are going to repeat the last couple steps. Start by tying in a chartreuse or any color you want on top of the shank, only making one thread wrap to hold it in place. Then tie in the white angel's hair on the bottom of the shank. Now we are going to pull back both clumps like we did before. But instead of making thread wraps over the angel's hair, we are going to build a thread dam in front of it. Once again, we are going to repeat the last couple steps with a much smaller clump of silver. Make one wrap over the center of the silver. Then tie in an equally small clump on the bottom of the shank. Now you can pull back all the angel's hair at the same time. Build up another small thread dam in front of the angel's hair to hold it in place. Once you have a good thread dam, throw in a whip finish. Now it's time to brush this fly out. You can use your dubbing brush, toothbrush, anything you got. Now it's time to attach the eyes. I like to use a gel super glue because the more watery ones, it just kind of soaks through the materials and doesn't hold the eyes as well. Granted, you don't need to use super glue. I mean, there is adhesive on the back of the eyes, but adding a little bit to it just kind of adds to the longevity of the fly and durability. And spin your vise around and stick the eye on the other side. Try to make them, even and looking the same on each side. Once you got them both on, I like to give them a quick squeeze. Make sure they're on good and tight. Now it's time to trim this fly down to a micro size. Kind of cutting at an angle and stepping down the fly. That way it doesn't look like a totally straight line when I cut it. Repeat the same process on the bottom of the fly. Once you have the shape and size cut, you can go around and trim up any loose fibers that you want. Alright, there you have it, the Micro Minnow. Now get out there and catch a fish.